So I just brought back up the Yaesu shell after painting them with the camo paint. As you can tell, the color of this particular paint is different from what was put on the frame. The frame has a little bit of a lighter, which actually I do like. I think it kind of provides a contrast. For the frame, I had used this particular camo paint from Gander Mountain, I think it was. I believe that was the code for it. And this, I went to Home Depot yesterday and got this from there. I got about 3 or 4 cans from there. What I really like about this is it's ultra flat, nice looking matte finish almost. But I think together they do provide a good contrast. Kind of provides a good blend. I do really like that. Product code is that it's Deep Forest Green. And here's the shell for the solar charge controller. I painted the same color on them. Just to give you a compare side by side, you can tell the difference between the frame's green, camo green, and the Yaesu's shell camo green. They actually do look very good together. So here's the installed Yaesu 857 with the camo shell and also the solar charge controller with the camo shell. Now I had to leave this unpainted, that section of the speaker. I think I may have, you know, for example, if you look at it closely, that isn't a real clean cut, but I think that should be fine. But anyways, I just wanted to show that. I didn't, basically took a painter's tape, made a circle, and left that unpainted. And at the bottom, that's the bottom side of the Yaesu. The next step is to mount these brackets to the side and get them onto the frame. So I just started putting the Yaesu into the frame, and so I had to kind of set it in the middle, almost at the midpoint into the frame. I was hoping that I could offset it so that it's more toward the bottom portion of the frame, but I had to kind of set it in the middle, which is still fine. I think I will probably have to use this space here for the TNC here, probably that space over there for some additional future parts, but for now I'll just leave it as is. On the side here I had to move the VHF, UHF antennas more toward the back to make room for the mic and the adapter. So the adapter kind of goes like so. So I had to make some room for it. But yeah, things are looking good, and the camo on the Yaesu looks like it's blending really well. So the microphone and the bracket is installed. The antenna has been moved to the back. There's some spots here that I would have to clean up. I'll have to go back and do some spot painting in these areas. Eventually I'd like to kind of take these screws off from the microphone, dismantle the shell, and perhaps do some spray painting on the shell, making sure that I don't obstruct the speaker outlets. And yeah, so hopefully that'll look nice too. I'll have to figure how best to kind of conceal this from painting over. So overall it's looking pretty good thus far. There's still more work to be done, as you can tell. For the batteries I have an idea. Right now it's top heavy. and as you can tell it's kind of wobbly, and that's because it's top heavy. We got the Yaesu and we got the ATAS antenna, as you can tell, so that's definitely gonna cause this frame to tip over, and we don't want that. So when I install the batteries at the bottom, that should give it sufficient foothold and make it more sturdy. But before I put the batteries on the bottom, I would like to install a plank of plywood at the bottom, so that it gives the batteries a plain surface to rest upon, and also it actually helps the batteries from discharging. So I think that should take care of that problem also. So once the batteries are installed, and the TNC is installed, and I'm still waiting on a few parts to come in, such as the watts up meter to help me monitor voltage, wattage and amps, and I will be installing that. And then of course the solar panel, the solar charger, etc., they all have to go in there as well. So I'm looking at where to mount this TNC, right by the Yaesu radio on the side arm here, right in front of the ATAS. I'll probably make a quick bracket and mount it in here. I think it'll look very compact. I was looking at some antenna wiring options, and I think I have a few spare LMR 400 cables that I can make a really short one from a run wire from the antennas to the Yaesu radio. I put some right angle SO239 adapters here, so I will be basically making a short cable run from the antenna here and maybe a few inches, I would say about six inches, to the radio, and likewise from the VHF UHF antenna to kind of come along the lines along the side here rather, and then go into the VHF side there. So yeah, I think that should look pretty compact and well organized. So I got some spare 259 PL259 adapters I got from eBay many months ago. These are silver coated Teflon PL259s, and I made some short LMR 400 cables. I'm going to be doing some soldering right now, and we'll talk soon. So just wrapped up the short LMR 400 cables for the antenna and the Yaesu 857. So this top one here goes from the VHF UHF, and this bottom one here goes to the ATAS. After I wire it up, I would like to do a quick test to sniff out the SWR and see how it performs. Okay, so the shack to go is taking pretty good shape. As you can tell, I took the ATAS outer shell. This is a tuning rod. This is a rod that goes up and down as you tune your radio to a different frequency. But anyways, there's an outer shell that goes on top of this, and I've taken it downstairs to do some spray paint on that. And same thing with my VHF and UHF antenna. There's a base part that needs some spray painting. And also, as you can tell, the 857 is mounted from the previous video. I took the microphone out of here and I took it downstairs for painting, so that's coming along as well. I was sharing earlier that I was making a few short LMR 400 cables, and here's the update on that. This is the short ATAS cable moving in from the ATAS over to the HF port in, or antenna in, for the 857, and that's the VHF UHF antenna, and that is fed into this side of the SO239. So I think it's taking pretty good shape here. I like the way it looks, really compact, and wires are not everywhere. So I think part of my goal is to keep it that way. Hopefully I will be able to through the end of the project. I just did some camo painting for some of these parts. This is the VHF UHF antenna, and that's camo painted now and is mounted. And here's the ATAS 120, and here's the microphone, and that's mounted on the bracket. I got some spot painting that I need to do here. This is the ATAS. There's a weatherproofing, kind of like a rubber jacket that goes on top of this. I think it's not holding the paint sufficiently enough, so what I'll do is I'll take this out and do some spot painting on it. I may have to do some priming on it and do a quick coat of spray paint.